Well, good afternoon and welcome to our virtual dialogue with the Dean, bringing you more campus updates from Purdue University and the College of Pharmacy. Before we start, I always want to remind you that if you have any questions throughout the video, please feel free to leave a comment and we'll come back and we'll respond. Today we have with us Wade Lange. Wade is the Vice President and Chief Entrepreneurial Officer for the Purdue Foundry. The Foundry is an internationally recognized startup hub that has generated more than 340 startups, $570 million in funding and investments, and nearly 350 new jobs. Probably more importantly to all of us, Wade is a member of the Purdue Pharmacy family, and he's a Purdue College of Pharmacy graduate, earning his BS in pharmacy in 1979. So Wade, thanks for being with me today. And it's good to have another member of the Purdue Pharmacy family with us who has had a very interesting and non-traditional career. So Wade, thanks for spending some time with me today.
Oh, my pleasure. Great to be with you today.
So let's just start off for those who may be unfamiliar. What is the Purdue Foundry and what is its purpose?
Sure. So really happy to talk about that. The genesis of the Foundry was in 2013 when President Daniels came to Purdue. Pretty quickly after his arrival, he made a determination that Purdue could expand its impact in the world by encouraging more faculty, students, staff, alumni to become entrepreneurs and take your ideas, your discoveries into the marketplace through startup companies. So our mission at the Foundry is very specific, is to enable Purdue startups to improve the world. We define Purdue startups pretty broadly. That includes faculty from the College of Pharmacy or other colleges, includes staff who are in our midst, students certainly, and we've also worked with a number of alumni over the years to help them start their companies. We've of the 340 or so companies we've helped start since 2013, about half of those are based on Purdue intellectual property or discoveries made at the university. About half of those then are from alumni or students, people who are outside of maybe the immediate orbit of the college and who want to start companies. I know my own personal experience. I started my career, as you mentioned, in working for a big company, worked for Lilly, the kind of traditional sales and marketing path there. But about 10 years into my career, I decided I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to work for a big company and found an entrepreneurial startup, actually coincidentally, coming out of the College of Pharmacy. Holly Mason and Steve Schondelmeyer had started a company. So, whenever it comes to you, we're there to help people in the Purdue nation to live their dreams.
Well, maybe talk a little bit more in detail about how the Foundry works with students, faculty, staff, to develop and realize those entrepreneurial dreams.
Exactly. So we really work with people in 4 different ways. First off, frankly, we're the cheerleaders for entrepreneurship at Purdue, working with our colleagues at the Burton Morgan Center for Entrepreneurship. A key part of what we do is just to spread the word that entrepreneurship is it's a great career path. It's a great way to take your ideas and get them out into the marketplace, to take ownership of that path and of your career. So certainly, first off, we just do a lot of work to encourage people. For those people who've taken this step and have decided they want to start a company, then we really work with them in 3 ways. One, it starts with very practical training. We have a series of online cohort-based training programs. It starts with a program called Firestarter, then Ignite, and then a program we're just launching called Boost, which is focused on companies that are really ready to accelerate their growth. So very much a training orientation, helping people take their idea and first really check it, is there a business opportunity there? Make sure that there are customers who have a job to be done or a problem to be solved, are willing to pay to have that solved, and you've got a solution for that problem. So we really help you figure out, is there a reason to take this idea forward? And then we really help people build out their business model, their business plans, help them connect to investors, other team members, which really leads me then into the second way we help companies. We do a lot of work around connections. One of the things that those of us who've done entrepreneurial startups in the past know, it's a team sport, and companies with the strongest teams are going to win. So we help our companies, our entrepreneurs connect to other entrepreneurs to industry experts, to investors, to get advice about growing their business. And then the third part of our model is investing. So we do have a couple of funds, 3 funds that we invest out of actively at the Foundry that can help companies relatively early stage build their businesses. But really, probably more importantly, is providing access to our very broad network of investors who are going to be interested in specific types of companies. So we know the people who are interested in a health services company, or the people who are interested in a drug development company, as a couple of examples pertinent to our audience today. We can make those connections and get you in touch with the right people, many of whom are going to be Purdue alums.
Well, typically I give our guests a chance to ask me a question. So maybe you've got a question for me.
I do. So tell me a little bit about how the College of Pharmacy supports entrepreneurships amongst your faculty and students.
Yeah, I think at the beginning, it starts with our culture, that we value entrepreneurship here in the college. Maybe it's because we're in a science field that has a very practical application in pharmacy. And so our faculty, our staff, our students see the value of translating ideas into the marketplace. And so we value it to our faculty, and thus it's part of who we are as a college. I always tell our new faculty members when they come here or when they're interviewing that one of the hallmarks of Purdue, and certainly the College of Pharmacy, is entrepreneurship. That we have had so many faculty and many of our students who've gone on to be entrepreneurs. And so we lead our peers in colleges of pharmacy in terms of patents and patent applications. And I think that speaks to the culture of the place where we value entrepreneurship. Secondly, programmatically, we encourage our faculty and students to take advantage of the various opportunities that they have here on our campus. You mentioned some of those that the Foundry sponsors, and so we promote those. We encourage our students to take advantage of those. And one of the things we're thinking about doing is creating an entrepreneurship certificate for our PharmD students and our PhD students who could take a series of courses, really get grounded in some of these fundamental principles around entrepreneurship, and hopefully use that as a springboard as they launch their careers. Right. And then lastly, we are talking about an entrepreneurship board, really tapping into our alumni base, who we again have a variety of alumni in the college who have been entrepreneurs, and really having them come in and be mentors, be available to our faculty, staff, our students, to help connect them, to be a sounding board for them, to really catalyze their own entrepreneurial activities. And we think that would be a really important piece as we go forward.
Great. Well, role models are really important here.
You know, it's amazing to me, Wade, the times that we go out to talk with alumni who've had, again, a variety of careers, but so many of them who have been entrepreneurs, and how they'll come back to me and say, it started at Purdue. That was the spark for them. And so we just want to continue to cultivate that climate here for our faculty, our staff, and certainly our students.
Well, it's great to hear, and let us know what the Foundry can do to help move that forward.
Great. Well, thanks again for being with me today. For those who are watching, please comment on the video. If there are other topics that you'd like to see us discuss in the future, let us know, and we'll tackle those. But until next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you next month. As always, hail Purdue and boiler up.
Boiler up.